Hi friends, welcome to my channel Learning English Language and Literature. In today's video, we are going to see about NTA NET examination Paper-2 for English Literature in detail. Already I shared you the exam pattern and the syllabus for both Paper 1 and Paper 2 in my previous video. So here is the syllabus for Paper 2 again. So it has 10 units. Now in today's video, I'm gonna start with this Unit 7 Cultural Studies. So before we begin, kindly subscribe to my channel for more content. So here we go, the Unit 7 Cultural Studies. Culture and Studies. We all know these two words. It's a very simple words, right? So here is the definition. It theorizes the force of culture that influences the society. So cultural study is nothing but a theory. By applying this theory, what we are going to see is the force of culture, how culture is acting as a force in our society. So that's how cultural studies analyze the text, how cultural things are acting as a force in the society. Okay. So it has mainly two components. One is enculturation and the other is acculturation. These two terms are very important. Okay. First, enculturation. It is an unconscious process. In enculturation, what happens is an individual unconsciously picks up and teach their culture. For example, I may teach my culture to my friend who belong to a different state or a country. But how it is happening is it is happening unconsciously. I am not doing that by purpose. That is called enculturation. The other thing is acculturation. It is completely opposite to enculturation. It is a conscious process. Here what I am doing is I am borrowing the culture of others. For example, we are borrowing so many things, dress styles, lifestyle from Westerners. So that may be take as an example for acculturation. So these are the main terms in cultural studies, enculturation and acculturation. So here we can find some names. These are considered to be the notable figures in this area of cultural studies. The first one is Richard Hoggart. Actually, he was the one who coined the term CS. CS is nothing but cultural studies, and he was also the founder of this center, BCCCS. That is, here is the abbreviation. Okay, Birmingham Center for Contemporary Cultural Studies. It is an important abbreviation you have to know. Okay. Then this center BCCCS was headed by Stuart Hall. And then we have this name Alan Sinfield and Stephen Greenblatt. So these are considered to be some of the important and notable figures in this area. So if you want to know some extra information about them, you can search for yourself. Then overall, so what is the aim of cultural studies? We can say to recover the lost culture of the marginalized. Here marginalized may be considered as who are deprived from the rights in the society or who are discriminated by the society. So to recover the culture of the marginalized. So that's their aim. How they do it? Okay. So how they recover the culture is they first study the way in which the culture is constructed, organized and changed. The way in which our culture is constructed, organized and changing. So these are the areas they focus on. So that is their aim. Then it is interdisciplinary in nature. So cultural studies is a very wide area. It doesn't only fit itself into culture alone. Here you can find Marxism. We can apply any theory here. We can apply Marxism, feminism, semiotics, like that. We can also find some philosophies here. We can apply a discourse analysis method, social history. So it's an interdisciplinary phenomenon, we can say. Then third point, CS developed two important theories. So here we have the first one, cultural hegemony and agency. First one is cultural hegemony. Actually, hegemony is the word which is a very most important word in Marxism. So we can find Marxism is has influenced cultural studies in many ways. Okay, so we can find Marxist influence on cultural studies. So that's why we can also find this word hegemony. So CS developed two important theories. One is cultural hegemony. Actually, hegemony is the word coined by Antonio Gramsci. Hegemony is nothing but dominance. Okay, so hegemony played an important role in cultural studies too. It is a word borrowed from Marxism, but it is also important in cultural studies too. Here too, we can find how the power system, that is dominance. Okay, then the second important theory is agency, or we can say structure of agency. This hegemony, right? This hegemony paved the way for agency. What do you mean by agency is first the structure. We all know what do you mean by structure. It is nothing but an arranged pattern that influences individual choices. For example, we can say after 12th boarding examination in India, we have some pattern, right? We can choose for engineering or medical or teaching line. So we have some arranged pattern that influences our choices. That can be considered as an example for structure. And then second one is agency. Agency is the capacity of an individual to make free choices. The capacity of the individual to make free choices. So that's the difference between structure and agency. So by this we can say find the socio-political influence upon culture. That is, it is something like Marxism. Cultural studies is something like Marxism. How it differs, that means how it differs from how cultural studies is different from Marxism is we can say Marxism is just a part, but cultural studies is a whole wide one. Okay, we can Marxism is just a part, only it deals with the problem between the capitalist and the working class. Okay, but CS is a vast area. Marxism is just a part in CS, that is cultural studies. And the last point is cultural constructivism. Constructive, what do you mean by construction is we create something. So here, what do you mean by cultural constructivism is here all the things are not really existing but created by the beliefs of the people. All the things are not really existing but created by the beliefs of the people. So culture is not already existing. It is also created by some people. So that is what you mean by cultural constructivism. Then here are some of the important founding work in this area. The first one is The Uses of Literacy by Richard Hoggett. Then Culture and Society by Raymond Williams. And The Making of the English Working Class by A.P. Thompson. You can search for these works by yourself to know more about those works. And finally, the main features of cultural studies. So the first one is not one theoretical approach. I already told you we can apply any theory here in cultural studies. We can apply Marxism, feminism, eco-criticism, or whatever. Okay, so it doesn't fit itself into one part. It doesn't only follow one theoretical approach. It is a no formula or order here. Then not only deals with one culture. Here we people follow different people who belong to a different geographical area following different cultures. So culture is a worldwide one. So here cultural studies can be also applied worldwide. Then it follows bricolage approach. What do you mean by bricolage is it is adopting whatever seems useful for the moment. Adopting whatever feels useful for the moment on the spot. Okay, if I think it is useful, I can make use of that. So that is the approach that is also followed in cultural studies. And the final one, it also follows eclectic method. Actually, it is a term from ELT. Here, what they will do is they just put so many approaches and theories together to get a better learning environment outcome. So here too, they just follow the same eclectic method. That is, they just include so many theories together to get the better interpretation of the text. So these are the main features of cultural studies. So that's all about cultural studies. Okay, yeah. So we can say by applying cultural studies, we can find the theoretical analysis of a culture of a society, mainly how they relate to the wider systems of power. That's why we just find this word hegemony. How the culture is related to the wider system of power. Okay, so that's all about cultural studies. We can see about it further in my next video. So my next video is going to be about Unit 7 and Unit 9, that is Cultural Studies and Literary Theory. You can find the combined class on these two topics in my next video. So thanks for watching. Please do subscribe to my channel for more content.